Now I come to another sutta, 2.4.6. Once the Exalted One was staying near Savatthi at Jeta Grove in Anathapindika's park. Now a great number of devas of tranquil mind came to visit the Exalted One, and on coming to him saluted the Exalted One and stood at one side. So standing, those devas said this to the Exalted One: Lord, here is this Venerable Sariputta at East Park in the terrace house of Migara's mother, that means Visakha, teaching the monks about the person who is fettered inwardly and the person fettered outwardly. The company is delighted. It were a good thing, Lord, if the Exalted One would pay a visit to the Venerable Sariputta out of compassion for him. The Exalted One consented by silence. Then, even as a strong man might straighten out his bent arm or draw in his arm stretched out, even so did the Exalted One vanish from Jeta Grove and appear in the presence of the Venerable Sariputta at East Park in the terrace house of Migara's mother. And the Venerable Sariputta saluted the Exalted One and sat down at one side. As he thus sat, the Exalted One said this to the Venerable Sariputta: Sariputta, a great number of devas of tranquil mind came to visit me. And he repeated their request. That is, they asked the Buddha to visit Venerable Sariputta. Then the Buddha continued. Now, Sariputta, those devas, though numbering 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or 60, yet they all stood in a space not greater than that made by the point of a gimlet, and that without crowding each other. Now you may think, Sariputta, surely it was yonder, that means in another world, that those devas' minds must have been trained to this attainment, namely, that though numbering 10, 20, 30, up to 60, yet they all stood in a space no greater than that made by the point of a gimlet, and that without crowding each other. But that is not how you must regard it, Sariputta. It was just here, Sariputta, that their mind was trained to this attainment. Wherefore, Sariputta, thus must you train yourself. We will become tranquil in senses and tranquil in mind. That is how you must train yourself. Indeed, Sariputta, those who are thus tranquil in sense, tranquil in mind, their bodily action also will be tranquil, and the same for speech and thought. Thus must you train yourself. We will present to our fellows in the holy life tranquility of speech and tranquility of thought, a present of tranquility. That is how you must train yourself. Those wanderers of other views, Sariputta, who have not heard this Dharma teaching, are utterly discomforted. That's the end of the sutta. Here in this sutta, the Buddha is saying that these devas, heavenly beings, 60 of them, stood in a space no greater than that made by the point of a gimlet. That means the point of a needle. All of them could stand at the point of a needle, such a small space, and without crowding each other. And the Buddha is saying that they did not train their mind to do this in the heaven world or somewhere. It was just here in the human plane. So this human plane, we can see, is a very important plane, because here we create a lot of karma, whereas in the other planes, we are reaping the results of our karma mainly. If we go to the heavens, you find that the devas, they enjoy themselves so much, and they are not thinking of cultivating themselves. They only think of enjoying themselves, and that is quite natural when we are in such a place. And then the beings in the lower planes, in the woeful planes, they are just reaping the bad fruit, the fruit of the bad karma. So they don't create so much new karma as the human plane. That's why the human plane, it is a very, very good plane for us to be, because that's a place where we cultivate ourselves. So even for this, like this, if we have strength of mind, and then next time when we become devas, we might be able to do that.